Paranormal covers many things. You hear something bump in the night? See that moving shadow? You smell Grandpa's pipe. Feel the hair on the back of your neck stand straight out. Normal doesn't have to be scary. But if you believe it is, let's try to help you. We are going to talk about topics that you may find helpful. We are the local team that gives back. Get live. Meadville Paranormal presents The Wormhole.
Oh.
Hi!
Ethan's not in it.
Ethan's not in it. That's too bad.
He just did like a silent movie move.
Silent movie. Welcome to this fun
Stage.
Now
left.
covering Ethan's face.
The special edition.
Yeah, special, all right. Oh. So we're gonna hit a controversial topic that we always talk about, just because we can.
Welcome to.
Welcome to Meadville Paranormal presents The Wormhole. Let's get it right.
Special edition.
Special
Special.
edition.
Yes.
Special.
edition.
Special. And I keep bobbing my head and look, Ethan's not on it anymore.
On off.
So
Okay.
let's talk about
You
religion.
can't sit still. You're covering his face.
Well, I
That's
can't
fine
sit
with me.
still.
That's fine.
That's my job to move, and
I don't want to move.
I do this for the audio track. I promise. That's why I never, ever look at the camera. Ever. No. Let's talk about religion and the team first, and then we'll play one of our fun songs, and then we'll come back and talk about it as an investigator. Either on the...
Anyways,
Anyways, so
religion as a team.
religion as a team. I didn't delete them. They're still on the desktop. Okay. Anyways.
Anyway.
We'll fade to black for 10 minutes and be back. Okay.
Religion of the team. Okay, what are we going to talk about?
So, should the team have a singular-based religion?
No.
Like, whichever one you might believe in.
Whichever you want to believe in, it should be open category so you can bring in all different aspects of it. I mean, if you have one particular type, you're only going to believe one particular thing. I mean, it's not actually, I don't think it would be a good idea.
I think that we should use all different types of religion to actually,
So, again, you're agreeing that there should be a singular source.
besides believing in paranormal? No.
And so what do you think about groups that go out of their way to say they are one or the other? Or force the issue of pushing...
Pushing one religion over another.
pushing the founders' beliefs on everybody else.
I don't believe in that.
I don't think that they're open-minded then.
Right.
If they're going to go in, they all believe in the same thing, so you're only going to look for one piece of the clue. Instead of every different religion, if you have different members that believe in different things, you can combine all of the religions into something and be able to look at all aspects of the issues.
And the problem with being soul-based, whatever religion you are, if you're a group of a soul base, is if Stephen calls me and he's a Buddhist, per se, or a Baptist even, and we're not either one of those, we can't really give him the answers he deserves because we're clashing heads at that point.
Yep.
And we're not understanding him because we come in with this singular focus of whatever. Not to offend any religion or anything, because they're all great in their own ways and they're all flawed in their own ways. So we're not.
Yeah, you wouldn't be able to help them because their beliefs would be different than yours.
Okay. So I guess we lost our videos, right?
Yeah.
So I guess I'm just going to take another punch at this and
Yeah.
go with religions as an investigator, singular. I keep saying singular and plural like it really matters, so you can't listen to me.
Yeah.
So religion as an investigator, is that important? No, what doesn't matter which religion. Is the fact that you believe in some higher power important?
I think yes, because then that actually protects you in certain situations. If you have a high belief in God, then that will actually protect you. And then you can actually look at different things in your religion aspects.
I think the important thing to note is, I was in this heated discussion the other day with somebody. I don't care what you believe, but you must believe it.
Right.
Don't tell me you're something, and then I ask you, we start to have a conversation about, start to waffle on what you believe. Be convicted in it, because if you're not convicted in it, that doesn't bode well for your understanding of it.
Right.
I mean, I'm open for you to change your mind and say, well, we'll use me as a personal example. I was a Methodist, now I'm a spiritualist, but I'm not quite a spiritualist because to fall in their broad category, I'm still not there because I believe what the Native Americans believe. So does that, somewhere between spiritualist and the local Seneca believes, so what does that make me? It makes me me.
But I
Right.
believe that you can believe in one. I believe that you can believe in more than one religion at a time.
I think the thing is, as long as you believe it, I don't care if you have a title for it.
Right.
Because that's where I'm at. What would I call myself? I'm just a believer in where where I'm going. But as every day goes by, I may tweak that belief. That's the important thing. If you believe it. But understand that there's changes, but you just can't waffle from one day to the next to say, well, I don't believe there's angels and demons. And the next day you come in and say, hey, there's angels and demons because I watched that cool movie with Tom Hanks in it. And the last time Tom Hanks made an appearance on the show, he said, fuck Meadville, by the way. Dig that video up out of the archives. He did. I swear. You got to go back and watch every one of them, and Tom Hanks said, fuck Meadville. Go dig it up. You don't believe me?
Hey.
No, seriously, you don't believe me? You got to go watch them. It's there. It's an older short clip, I promise you. You just got to find it. And when you do find it, you'll laugh because I told you to go look for it. You'll be like, what was I looking for?
Yeah.
There you go. But like I said, the important thing is understanding yourself. Because let's say you're something, but anybody can say they're, let's say, Christian for the sake of this conversation. But if they don't believe it, they just say it like, I'm a Republican, and they're saying it to say it because that's what the world wants to hear. That's where the weakness comes in, and that's where it causes problems because you're trying to communicate with a spirit, and they're not sure that you believe in them or believe enough in yourself.
Are they going to get a hold of you or
enough
contact you?
Enough contact or comfort in your own skin to be accepting of them.
Right.
Ethan, you look lost.
I'm always
He's
lost.
quiet.
Yeah, he's quiet too. I'm kind of worried.
I'm always quiet. Unless I get
It's okay.
caught up on a conversation.
It's okay. You can see Ethan all you want. He's got the face for radio. We all know that going in. But speak, dog, speak.
Woof, woof.
But okay, here we'll ask you a simple question: Can religion be a weakness for a person?
It could be.
How so?
Well, because if that's all they believe in is the religion, then they won't be open-minded to believe in anything else.
So there you go. He is paying attention.
Yeah.
But can religion be a strength then?
Yes, it
I'm
can.
digging off my other notes here.
Yes, it can be a strength.
Can be how?
Well, there could be clues and helpful hints and tips if you're on an investigation in your religion. Your religion can give you tips and hints on how to communicate with somebody, even if your religion doesn't specifically say this is how you do it.
I think to understand religion as a whole, you must understand. You got to find the pieces that make sense to you. It's just like anything else. If Steven's trying to put something together and he's reading these directions that come in 4 different languages,
Yeah, I'm reading Spanish.
and he looks at it and says, "That picture just doesn't look right. Looks like the guy doodled upside down and backwards." Because you ever get one of those solder furniture things and they turn it around and flip it upside down, and you're looking at it and going, "That ain't how I got it together."
They're totally different.
And they've changed the angle and didn't tell you. Okay. Thanks. Right in the middle of my good thought. There you go. You've got to interpret things through your own eyes, because my view of the world is totally different than Steven's, because we've walked to a different point to meet at this point.
Right.
So to say that one cookie-cutter answer is good for everybody isn't true. We've been filming for 8 minutes, and we have 8 minutes left. 8 minutes left. Okie dokie.
So why is it that you think that some of these paranormal groups only believe in one religion?
A comfort, I imagine, because they feel strength. I mean, that's like a... Here we go. We're going to rip on Christianity somewhere, because that's the most prevalent and common one. You take your Bible study group, and you feel comfortable with them. So, just like this group, you get comfortable to a certain point, and then you want to expand it to something else. So when you get comfortable with your group of religion friends, and you want to go do something else, oh, let's go ghost hunting. Even though the funny thing is, some groups of religion people give us the hardest time because they don't understand or want to understand. They just see us as demon worshippers or saint worshippers or just straight up heathenists.
As an answer to Angie's question, why did they drink the Kool-Aid? Because they were told to.
Oh, okay.
We're
I know what
drinking,
you're talking about.
we're drinking Kool-Aid now. That's pretty
Yeah,
good.
But
back.
do you get what I'm saying now?
Yeah,
Yeah. I just don't understand why they would pick one religion and try to go.
I think they're picking the religion. They're already in the religion and they picked something else. I don't think they got together and then picked the religion and then worked backwards.
But I don't understand how they would be able to help anyone only with one religion in mind. And to go out in a paranormal investigation, I don't know if they could really conduct a good investigation.
Some teams pick one person that they idolize and who they're going to be exactly like, and they do everything that person does.
So they're like a god, a leader.
Yeah.
That's where the paranormal becoming
That's
a
where
religion
it comes
is.
in.
Right.
Why did they drink the Kool-Aid? You know, that's where
We
that
could
comment
talk
comes
about
from.
what?
Yes. Yes, purple Nikes, and I love that.
Yeah.
Purple Nikes. Hey! That wasn't a shot at Nike. I love Nike products. Phil Knight, if you're watching. Yeah. I could use some Nikes. And Phil Knight's not watching, so why am I even plugging Nike? We gotta tag that, so maybe.
Next subject.
Next subject. We have a different subject? Oh yeah, squiggly line, squiggly line. See, there is a meaning to this squiggly line that we're going to show. It's the interconnectivity of your... I'm making stuff up because Angie's...
Of your what?
Of your religion and yourself. Yes, I know, it's all what you believe, it's all between your ears. But to take your logical side that says this, whatever you want to, you logically believe, and the spiritual side, because there's a balance. And that's the line.
Well, actually,
The connectivity.
you've got your imagination part too. Like you said.
Yeah.
I mean, you got a bunch of different sides that clash together, but if you got the two, like your religious and your spiritual,
Well,
those...
That's half of one. You got your logical and your...
Yeah, logical and spiritual, that's what I'm sorry. they smash heads constantly.
Well, I think most of them meet in the middle too. They don't always.
Not always flash, but there's that.
Yeah.
You've got to... But your middle may be different than my middle.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, of course you're probably different. That's why you've got to have the open mind that everybody claims to have. But your mind isn't open. You've just got to know your mind. And that's coming back to knowing what you believe.
But you have to accept other people's beliefs too for an open mind.
Yes.
I mean, not that you have to believe in the same thing, but you have to see where they're coming from with their beliefs.
I don't have to accept whatever
Right.
you believe. I have to understand where you're coming from
Right.
and process it through my belief system. So maybe we can meet in the middle and say, you know what, this isn't paranormal activity. This is a cat running around in the basement.
Right.
Because you hear the downstairs and you're thinking, got a ghost. I'm thinking, no, you've got a cat. We go downstairs and the cat's sitting there going,
Right.
he hadn't moved in an hour. And then we never find out that the cat was actually making a noise. So I say cat and she says ghost. Logically, we all know it's the cat. Or assume it's the cat. But there's that little voice in the back of every paranormal investigator's head that says, I caught that unexplained noise. Because you go downstairs and you start tapping on different things and you can't get that same pattern.
Right.
Of course, you don't have cat buzz.
Right.
But that's where we actually go down to try to debunk it. To
Right.
say, hey, it could be this, it could be that. Let's try to find out what it is.
Right. Well, see, that's the other problem in the paranormal world right now. Some groups are going so far to debunk everything and say, it could be this, it could be that. No, there's nothing wrong with that. That's a healthy thing.
Right.
But the other part, there's another set of groups that say, you hear the ghost knock at the door? Well, no, it was your friend is kicking on it, or was it somebody outside?
Right.
No, that's a ghost. I promise you that's a ghost. So, you've got to maintain that balance of maybe it could, yes, we know that white noise was the furnace. But that one picture that's a little different, but we're not sure, but we think we kind of explained, and we just throw it away. Well, are we throwing it away too soon? Because are we getting too... Oh, yeah, just a camera.
We're leaning more to one side than the other.
Right.
We're pushing everything that... Because we know too much now. I mean, back in the day, they just believed.
Right.
Now that we have equipment, we're getting to the point where... Like I always tell people, I believe less in the stuff that is presented now than I did when we first started, but I believe more in the spirits now than when we first started, too. Which is a fine line to walk because... Excuse me. Maybe I'll be able to talk again. Because as I believe more, I want to believe the evidence more. But as I was just saying, I know too much now that orbs are dust most of the time.
Right.
So, but then again, if somebody comes to you and says, "Do you believe this picture?" and then they tell you this story about how they felt the presence of their grandmother, da 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 da, and they show you this picture, is it my place to say that's dust?
Or you...
Right.
Yeah.
Because they show you this cool picture and it's got this what appears to be this gigantic dust storm, but they've got a story there to tell you, and they believe it.
So you sit there and say, no, you don't know what you're talking about, or do you say, well, it could be?
Yeah.
But do you give them false hope, or do you give them...
But if they have a story, it doesn't matter what you tell them.
Right.
If I tell you, Steve, that's my signature, you say, no, it's not. That's your signature. But if I believe that's my signature.
Pretty close to about to say.
But if they believe it, no matter what I tell them.
They're not going to... It doesn't matter what you tell them.
Yeah,
They're
especially if
just
it's a
gonna
loved
keep-
one. They're thinking they
Right.
contact
But do you tell somebody that it's not a loved one if it's just a dust orb? I mean, if they have the comfort of someone watching over them.
And it's not doing them any harm.
Right. As long as it's not doing any harm, what is to say that you can't just say, okay, it could be?
Yeah, I mean, especially when they
I
have...
mean-
if they just came up and showed you this picture from their house and said, what do you think? And then they tell you the story, that's a whole different can of worms. They just have a dust torp. But if they have a conviction behind it, you're never going to change your mind. Or you're just going to sound like...
Well, that, and you could also just, crush their hopes, too. Having someone... I mean, not really crush their hopes, but...
But there, on the other hand, I don't think that you should lie to them either.
Yeah, orbs are a tricky thing because a lot of people still believe in them, even though we can't explain them.
Right.
So we good now?
13 seconds.
13 seconds. I think we can call that a show.
Okay, say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.